and the work that has been done so far on that.
Let me stay in the tax question because I think it's a fascinating topic for Mexico. So when you implement the reform that we were discussing, something quite shocking happened on the data, which is that tax collection barely increased. It was increased by 1% of GDP. And this led a lot of academics and a lot of thinkers to start debating whether the problem in Mexico is not necessarily the rates of taxation, but evasion and elusion that happens. And we do have evidence that most of the evasion and most of the elusion is happening at the very top of the income distribution. Even if, as you mentioned, 50% of the population is informal, because of the income distribution and the capacity of generation of income, it is at the very top where people are evading and eluding more taxes. In my own research, I have shown how the top 1% in Mexico evades and eludes 8 times more than the bottom 50%. And informality tends to be concentrated on the bottom, with a few exceptions. So knowing this, what would be a path for Mexico to increase their tax collection?
Well, I'm not a tax expert, but again, I will introduce an element into your macro picture. Mexico, during the 1990s, more so before, but still today, or until a few years ago, had a strong reliance on oil revenues and the taxation of oil revenues to have the government's income. Maybe in your arithmetic, looking at the aggregate figures, you should take into account that when I became president, I think the average price of oil paid for Mexican oil was something like $17 or $18. In early 1998, Mexico was